Hey, Jean, it's us.
Oh my God, Arthur, look, it's a bull riding a horse.
Hey, what?
Oh my God.
I'm taking offense to all those bull jokes because I'm a Taurus.
I've never seen a bull ride a horse before. I gotta get a picture of this.
I think that's a lot of bull.
It is a lot of bull on that poor horse.
Now she's doing fat jokes. All right, we're almost there. All right, come on, William.
You can take that any level you want.
We're here. We're actually here without damaging the barn. How about that?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, William, you can let me off. William. Now he wants to run around the backyard.
He likes having a bull on his back.
That's right. which is more than I could say about my co-host, but that's okay.
I love having a Taurus co-host. What are you talking about?
All right.
You know what? The cool thing about doing a show with you is that we can fight and we can just come full swing around and totally laugh again. And then we can laugh and then we can come full swing around and fight again. It's amazing.
It's just like the scene in Back to the Future. It's like being with my sister.
You better watch it. I'll pull your pigtails. Wait, you don't have pigtails. I'll kick you in the shin.
All right. Hey, we got to talk about some stuff. I'm telling you, this is hot news. We have to talk about it. And again, I got to give you credit for this, Gene. You nailed it. I'm telling you, Hillary's health condition is catching up to her. I didn't want to talk politics, but we can't ignore it. Today it's very important. And there is all sorts of evidence that they're going to try to pull her out of the race and all sorts of things that are going on. So, got any thoughts?
Oh, I think she'll be out of the race. I think she'll be out of the race before the vote. And furthermore, the debate, I'm kind of wondering, because she has such bad astrology that night, I'm wondering if she's just not going to show up or something. Because Trump's astrology is amazing on the first debate, September 26th. Yeah, I haven't calculated the rest of the debates, but the first one I was excited about because it's going to be so well viewed. You know, if she doesn't show up at that because she's sick or whatever, that's going to ruin it for her. I'll tell you that right now.
No joke. But let me tell you this. I mean, I'm watching this. I've been following this for the last couple days. And basically what I'm seeing is again, we have to make prayers or calls or however you want to perceive it, visualizations. Everybody put some good thoughts out there, adjust it to God's will for the exposure of what's coming out on the press. Now, and let me give you, for instance, Huffington Post, Clinton owed apology from media questioning her health. For God's sake, she's fallen over, and there's video of her, tripping and barely holding it together. And then she's saying Hillary didn't think sickness would be that big a deal. And, it's unbelievable the way that they're trying to smear or change this. I mean, Christiane Amanpour, basically saying that, her it shouldn't be an issue, her health, and it's just like, oh, for God's sakes, when are we going to get to the truth?
No. I'm looking at Hillary's chart, and she's got Mercury in Virgo going retrograde, as we all do. And Virgo does rule health issues. And it's in her 10th house of status and career and how the world sees her power. And so they're seeing her pretty sick right now, for sure. Doesn't matter what the media says, because she's showing it herself.
The deal is though we gotta, I don't know, we gotta see it in a way that nobody can ignore it. And I thought that video that has been out now, where she came out of the, the forum that she was in, and she came out of that and had to prop herself up on a post, and then you see her buckle and her legs buckle out from underneath of her, and then all of a sudden all these guys rush in to cover the camera angles so that you couldn't see it. But what gets me is the constant cover up. Mm-hmm. What is in the astrology that shows cover up in the media? We got to break through this.
She owns the media, and she's already told them to do that. They're looking out for it. She has Sun, Venus, and Mercury all in the 12th house of secrets. Those are, the 12th house rules the media in the realm of the film part of it, so what you see isn't really what you get. And I don't know if it was you or someone said to me that they felt that some of the times when they looked at Hillary, it wasn't really her, that it was a stand-in.
Oh, that is definite, and in fact, I've seen some common pictures where these two people have been put, next to each other, juxtaposed, and you can tell that the other one, there's like 30 pounds difference between the two people. Finger structures look entirely different. Carrying the purse on a different shoulder than is normally doing. I mean, that's circumstantial, but they were trying to make it look right. And then they had sunglasses that actually covered her eyes so that you really couldn't see that. Of course, that would be a giveaway if they saw the eyes.
Scary.
But yeah, there's been some speculation that a body double has been used. So, compare that to what happened with Trump when he was in this rally and this woman fainted and he came off of the podium and went down and administered to this woman and got everybody cheering on her behalf and made sure he stopped his whole presentation to make sure that this woman was okay. And I mean,
wow.
There it is. I mean, how much juxtaposed can you be? You got somebody that's covering this stuff up with somebody who's showing, compassion and caring for somebody who's in the audience that's having a medical condition.
He's got a Leo ascendant. He's got heart. I've never met a Leo that didn't have a huge heart.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, they do get territorial and they do roar a lot, but their roar is far bigger than their bite, believe me.
Hey, I have a Leo ascendant. I understand. Mine's at 27. Mine's at 27 degrees.
Yours is close to Trump because his is 29, but that's a critical number. So
what is 29 or 27?
29.
What about 27?
Yours adds up to the 9, so you're more the crusader for a cause type of ascendant with a little drama.
That sums it up. Yeah. Crusader for a cause with a little drama. I'm going to have to put that on my business cards.
New motto.
I see an update on my resume coming. Boy, I'll tell you. Okay. Oh, jeez. Anyway, but what I wanted to do was to talk to you about this. I'm really serious. Based on what you've researched with Hillary's astrology, the United States birth astrology, the United States conceptional astrology, how can we, where are we seeing media cover-up? Because this has to be broken. If we can break this media cover-up on everything, we're going to have a fighting chance.
Well, in America's chart, that shows up huge. I just want to say, though, to wrap up Hillary's chart, I'm going to go to America's chart here in a second. But I'm looking at Hillary's, and I do believe that she's not going to make it all the way to the election. So you heard it first here on the Trek Upward radio show. And I actually said it, how long ago was it we did Hillary's chart?
It was a while ago. It was quite a while ago.
It's still up all over the place. So if you want to go to places like YouTube or Twitter, or go on to our own website at the trekupwardradioshow.com and listen to that Clinton show and then see where she is now. It's kind of amazing. But her moon is in Libra. Her kidneys are also really messed up. She will, I think she's got Parkinson's disease, if you want to know the truth. All the symptoms are very clear. Plus her moon's in the Aquarian house, which means the electrical parts of her central nervous system aren't definitely working properly. So, there's something going on there. And so it will probably affect the election and her position in the election. I still believe Trump is going to win, and I'm being a real good girl about it right now, but I'd really like to jump up and down because I'm so glad if we don't get Trump in office, we don't have a United States of America anymore. When you got 49ers who will not stand up and sing the national anthem just because they think that only black lives matter, they forgot about all the other lives. I mean, that's so stupid that you can't be patriotic to the country that allows you to play football and pays you $1 million a day to do it.
Well, when you see a big team like that pull that kind of a stunt, that's an orchestrated event. There's a lot of money involved for the entire team to be able to pull something like that.
George Soros is the man.
You can't tell me that was not orchestrated on purpose.
I believe it was.
All right, the other thing that I have to tell you here that is of concern to me, I mean, I've seen situations where, astrology will lead us in a particular direction, but I've also seen where the cup has been dashed from the lip in the 11th hour. before something. And we have to be very careful that they're not going to use this Hillary thing to suspend the elections or to try to place fraud down there or control the elections in any way, shape, or form. And that's the thing that we have to be careful of, that they're going to use this as an excuse to either, usurp the electoral process, because there's a lot of guys that don't want to see Trump get into office. I mean, a lot of money.
Do you think they can do that legally? I mean, seriously.
It doesn't matter if it's legal or not. I mean, look at what we're seeing being exposed here with the Clintons and what the Clinton Foundation has done. Is any of that legal? Very little bit of it. Nobody's being held accountable for this.
Well, the July 4th, 1776 chart of America, the progressed moons in Sagittarius, which rules broadcasting. And it's getting ready. It's been in the 12th house for the last couple of years. It's headed for the ascendant in about 4 months. So, yeah, there's been a lot of undercover, below the table, under the table type activity going on. And they have actually, the media has actually been our enemy and not our friend. They look at us and they smile and say, "Hi, we're here to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help us God." And it's a bunch of hooey. And it shows up in America's chart.
We need some strong freedom fighters that are finally going to say enough is enough and take it, who have been in the media, that are going to be able to say, yes, this is being whatever is happening. Because, to be perfectly honest with you, this is getting fatiguing. The fact that we're not getting the truth in the media, this is fatiguing. And I'm saying that gently. Gene knows when I get on a soapbox, I'll get on a soapbox. And this has got me. It's like, for God's sakes, please expose what we need to expose and protect, what we need to do. But I think in the grand scheme of things, I think all of this is being exposed in the way that it can, so that people can handle it. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot of changes coming to America, big time, with the moon going on the ascendant of America's chart. It's start over time. So I absolutely think that what Trump's message is an absolute timing factor with America's chart. And if I wasn't smarter, I was smarter. If I wasn't smarter.
Wait a minute. Wait.
How do I say that?
Before E, except after C, what was that again?
I would think that Trump had the astrology done of America's chart and jumped on the bandwagon, that he knows more about those types of, and I wonder if he's a Freemason. I wonder if he's just got metaphysical.
You had to bring up key words.
Something.
All right, we have to state this. Freemasonry had actually been infiltrated. You know that, because most of the founding fathers were Freemason, and the symbols that they used, you got to see this. In fact, you can go to there's a blog post that's out on Prophecy is Given, where I actually talk about how the divine symbols have been hijacked. So the pyramid symbol with the all-seeing eye in it, that is not Big Brother watching you, Illuminati. It has been hijacked by the forces of darkness. That is actually a very divine symbol that was brought forth by the Freemasons originally. And that represents the all-seeing eye of God in the capstone of the pyramid being the city four square, or the accumulation of everybody's thoughts, efforts, deeds, spiritual support, bringing forth the opportunity to bring forth a nation that is coming forth in bringing forth your Buddhahood, your Christhood, your Krishnahood, however you want to perceive it, your direct connection with God. And that's that city four square. And the pyramid and the top represents the coming down from God to match what's coming up from the bottom. The two meet together in the all-seeing eye of God. It is not the Illuminati. It is not Big Brother watching you. However, the forces of darkness want you to believe that that's where these symbols came from. Did they come from Freemasonry? Yes, before they were, before it got infiltrated. Just like the Nazis did with the symbol of the swastika. The swastika was actually a divine Buddhist symbolism that showed the rebirth of life. So they took that symbol, skewed it a little bit, and then they used it for nefarious deeds. They're doing the same thing with our divine symbols. So I had to say that because a lot of people are saying, well, these Freemasonry symbols represent the Illuminati. They do not. Okay.
Well, let me tell you something.
Yes.
That progressed moon is in the sign Sagittarius, which is the sign of the Crusader for a Cause, going into America's first house. That means a lot of people are going to rise up, and I believe those are going to be people in the media as well. So I think people are going to get tired of George Soros and all these people manipulating the voices, I almost started thinking, I wonder if all the podcasts are manipulated. Like, if they can go in and just say, you know what, that's a little bit too political. That's too much truth. Let's limit the exposure. I really wonder about stuff like that.
Yeah, please share our shows, really, because we don't think that our shows are expanding as fast as they could. And and I agree with Jean. I think there's something going on. Somebody's stopping this stuff from happening. I mean, we're attempting to get as much exposure as possible. So we ask our friends.
Well, they don't understand that I've got a email list of 100,000 people, so they get all my shows. So whatever. There's back doors we can go through. So
So protect our internet and everything else. Wow, this has been a rambling freedom show for sure. Boy,
we are freedom fighters, and we want to save America, and we will stand for the national anthem, and we will put the hand on the heart, and we will sing with all the love of our heart so that our nation is strong. And that's what everybody should do.
Oh, you know what? The national anthem is, a lot of people don't know all the verses of the national anthem. Hold on a minute. I have to check the Trek Upward radio show extensive library.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to go into song there. Sing it to us.
I might.
Oh, my God. Help. What are we going to do?
I mean, a lot of people don't understand the lyrics to the Star Spangled Banner other than the first. I mean, everybody knows this, right? Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light, etc., or the land of the free and the home of the brave. But listen to this one. Oh, thus be it ever when free men shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation. Blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must when our cause it is just, and this is our motto, in God is our trust. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. That's the last verse, and I'm telling you, it says it right there. Do you think many Americans know that last verse? No, but that's what it's all about. Heaven rescued land.
Well, talk, Mr. Crusader for a Cause.
Yes.
In America's chart, we have Uranus square Mercury right now. That is why that 49er guy, that little dude, decided not to stand up, and he decided to make waves. A little bit of rebellion, paid rebellion, I believe, through a setup. Uranus square Mercury. Let's challenge and rebel against the things that we all believe in. The Mercury in America's chart is in the 8th house. So people in the sign Cancer, people have strong, deep emotional connection to America, and you can't change that. So no matter who you are, whether you are the Indian Black Brotherhood, the Muslim Black Brotherhood, the psychotronics, the UFOs, whoever you are, you cannot change that patriotic feeling, that love of freedom, that love of God, that love of truth. It's ingrained in the atom cells and electrons of the people that live in America. So they can do all they want. Ultimately, the freedom fighters are the ones that will win. And they always do.
Wow. Bravo. Yay.
Wow.
Well said. Hey, so I have a question here. You've looked at Hillary's chart here. You're looking at America's chart. Do you see any kind of possibility for who may be her replacement, or any other kind of speculation as to what may be happening there?
Well, they're probably prepping Kane. He's not able, though. Or because most people feel like I feel when I look at him. I'm like, you're either an alcoholic or you got something wrong there. So I don't trust you when I look at you.
Wow, that's a pretty rough thing to say. You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
Very sure of it. Have you looked at him?
Just want to make sure that you're.
Most of us have a subconscious ability to, sort of read people. If they're on the up and up or not at some level, whether you admit it or not. Discerning spirits is something everybody's supposed to learn how to do in their life. Who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy? And not judging people. That's not what you're doing. You're discerning people. Maybe all of us are have that good in us, but it's a free will choice whether we use it or not. So it shows in the aura. It's almost like there's something crooked going on.
Oh, I'll tell you. Well, I mean, when you see somebody like I mentioned her name before in this show, Christiane Amanpour, right? She's crying sexism and basically saying...
To who?
To everybody, saying, can't a girl have a sick day or two? She actually said that. She's covering this up. So I say to Christiane, please stand for truth. These guys, by the grace of God, will not win. Please stand up and do your job as a journalist instead of being the mouthpiece for stuff that is just not right. Please.
Well, Cyclopea, who is a great Elohim and manifestation of God's consciousness, said clearly, hey, most people who identify with this, try to cover it up, are locked into it, believe in it, are locked into the dark forces that are way, 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 way beyond our outer sight. And so even though you don't see that they're locked in, you scratch your head and wonder why people make the choices they make. And in all reality, they're making choices because they're locked into those UFOs or those dark forces that really want America's resources, not just America's, but Earth. You know, they're from faraway places. So, I mean, we're going beyond high here. We're not just dealing with the George Soros or the Bilderbergers or the bad guys. We're going beyond. Way out there in the great galaxies of God, there's a few bad guys. And God's letting it outplay itself. I mean, ultimately, they don't have a chance. They don't. I don't know why they bother, but they keep doing this stuff. Does anybody understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Have no fear. I do. I hear you, Dee.
I am here. The galaxy is so big. If you think we're the only people on in this world, you better think again.
Oh, now we had a science fiction show last year, and I think, you know, if you really want to get into some heavy duty stuff, we can. But
okay,
let's suffice it to say that it ain't what it appears to be, folks. And I use ain't, you know, colloquially. Did that come out right? Colloquially?
Something. That's a Mercury retrograde. I'm not the only one that's dealing with this.
Yeah.
But you know, it's the bottom line is you got to do as many good deeds as you can, and you got to stand for truth in life, and you've got to make the right choices so you can graduate from this planet and get out of this mess you got yourself into. Of course, you're going to see dark forces all around you. But go inside, use your third eye, go inside, get into your heart, put your seatbelt on, and go find God.
Oh, you know, you brought something up, and I want to say this, and I thought about this after one of the shows that we did before, and thank you for reminding me. You know, when it all boils down to it, evil and what we see as darkness is not real because the power of God can overcome it. However, and let me phrase this, and this is something that I had to wrestle with when I first started diving into, you know, spiritual understanding, is where does evil come from? It's a misuse of God's power. It's a misuse of God's energy. And while it exists, it carries a charge. So, yes, if you're standing in the way of it, you can get run over by it. But in its long run, it is not real. And its appearance really doesn't have power in the context of God and your Christhood or your Buddhahood or your Krishnahood or your, you know, direct connection to your presence. So I wanted to thank you for bringing that up again, because a lot of people will say, well, it's just evil, I don't want to take a look at it. But here's the point. It's got a charge on it. And until that battery either discharges or we get God involved in it, where that energy can be taken back, requalified to where it goes, don't get in the way of it, because what's going to happen is it's going to be like a lightning bolt. So, but when it comes down to it, it's God's energy that's been misqualified. So there you are for all the metaphysical people that really wanted to hear that. I know that was very heavy, but...
We like to get heavy and then light and then heavy and then light.
Yep.
And he's a bull, you know. He wrote up on William. Oh. So he's the heavy and I'm the light. Oh. No, he's the light and I'm the heavy. Whatever.
And that's
time to go.
And that's no bull.
That's no bull. That's sunshine.
Yeah, we got to go now. So William and I, let me mount up here, William and I, and let's see what we can do. I'm going down to the Immigrant Mall again, so we're ready to go. You ready, William? 3, 2, we're out of here. Bye. Let Jean do an astrology consultation for you, your family, or your friends. Go to astrologyjeanhart.com or give her a call or text her at 1-406-599-5555. 3934. There are powerful spiritual tools available to help you deal with planetary and personal challenges, and these can be found at prophecyisgiven.com. And be sure to visit our website at thetrekkupwardradioshow.com or stop by on Facebook at www.facebook.com/trekupward. And be sure to hit like on our page. Or visit YouTube and search for the Trek Upward Radio Show. Be sure to subscribe so you do not miss another episode of the Trek Upward Radio Show. The Trek Upward Radio Show is a studio at 5,600 feet production.